Welcome back, it's Zion from Uke on Demand, and this week we're teaching He Will Hold Me Fast. We have easy and intermediate arrangements of this song at ukeondemand.com. What you just heard in the song just a second ago was a combination of both the easy and intermediate versions in one song. You'll notice that verse 1 I played sounded like this. And when I played verse 2, it sounded like this. And so on. And so that's sort of the difference between the easy and intermediate arrangements. There's just more notes in the intermediate version. So depending on what level of playing you're at, you can choose which arrangement suits you best. In this video, we're going to be going over the first part of the easy version of He Will Hold Me Fast. But if you'd like the intermediate version, but if you'd like the rest of the tutorial, and of course the tutorial and tabs for the intermediate version, you can find those at ukeondemand.com. So to begin this easy version, which is compatible with both low G and high G ukuleles, we would go like this. And to play that part, we're going to start out in a C5, which is just your ring finger on the 3rd fret of the E string, and we're only strumming the top 3 strings. We don't actually play the A string at all in this chord. And you can go ahead and leave your finger there and just keep it flat over the 3rd frets of E and A, because after you play that C5, you're going to be picking the 3rd fret of A twice. After you pick the 3rd fret of A twice, we're going to pick the 2nd fret of A, followed by the 3rd fret of E. Now it says the 3rd fret. If you're in a high G, you may be wondering, can't I just play the open G string instead of the 3rd fret of E? And the answer is yes. Anytime, if you're in a high G ukulele, anytime you see the 3rd fret of E by itself, you can substitute it for the open G string. The reason why it says the 3rd fret of E on the tabs is in case you're using a low G ukulele, in which that case you couldn't play the open G string because it would be an octave lower. So the 3rd fret of E is sort of a universal way to get that note you're looking for, no matter what tuning you have. So 3rd fret of E, unless you've got a high G ukulele, you can substitute. But either way, after that, we pick the open C string by itself. After we play that C string, we're going to move into an F chord. And F chord looks like this. We're going to have the index finger on the 1st fret of E and the middle finger on the 2nd fret of G. And we strum all of the chords. And we're just going to hold it. You notice the timing changes from 3/4 to 4/4. And so we're going to hold this chord a bit longer. And once this measure is done and we go into the next measure, we're just strumming an F chord again underneath the word Christ. So go ahead and strum one more time. And as you're playing that, your ring finger is going to come up to the 3rd fret of E and pick the 2nd fret of C, and then the 3rd fret of E again, and then the open C string and E string together. So you've come to the end of the bar. Let's go back to the beginning of this section and play it together very slowly, starting with that C5. So you're going to get into position and strum once. 3rd fret of A twice. 2nd fret of A. 3rd fret E. Open C. Into an F chord. And you're going to let that sit. And then play F again. 3rd fret E. 2nd fret C. 3rd fret E. And open C and E together. And that's the end of bar 1. Now, what you'll like about this song is that the bars tend to repeat themselves every other bar. So the next bar, bar 2, which is now up on the screen, you'll notice that it is, in terms of the melody, it's exactly the same as bar 1. So everything you just learned applies to this bar as well. So let's just go ahead and play what you see on the screen, but a little bit faster now. And that's how to play the first part of He Will Hold Me Fast. To get the rest of the tutorial and the tabs and tutorials for the intermediate versions and low G and high G arrangements, head over to ukeondemand.com and subscribe below so you don't miss our upcoming fingerstyle tutorials. We'll see you next time.